Is it too early to pop some bottles? Paul Wagner to my left.
I don't
Eric
think so.
Tasker. Okay, so you know what? In tribute to our friend Eric Tasker, I dug up this, and Wags, you'll get it. Here we go. Tasker, do you know what this is?
Yeah.
There.
Of course I do.
I actually have a Ted Nugent cookbook. Autographed by Ted Nugent, yes. It was at the Wilton Rod and Gun Club many years ago. Yes.
Milton, you said.
Wilton.
Oh, Wilton.
Up in near Monroe County.
In the wild again. And I felt right at home where I belong.
Eric Tasker felt right where he belonged.
I had that
On Wags Farm.
coming over me again.
Mosquitoes flying around my head.
So many times
Sun was starting to set. I knew time of the essence. We play this in honor of our buddy Eric Tasker because congratulations.
The drought is over.
The drought is over, yes. Yes.
Yeah,
The freezer will be full, Wags.
Yeah, I actually, I just got the text message this morning. The meat's ready to be picked up. And, so I just got to run over to our friends at Bunzel's and grab the goods.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was quickly reminded by our friend Paul Wagner, the early season isn't actually over. We still need to take 3 more deer off the property.
Harvest ain't over there, Eric. Let's go back in the woods.
Yeah, so it was a little bit of a scramble that evening. I told Wags, I was like, all right, here's what I'm thinking. You know, she keeps coming out on the south end of the food plot. I'm going to just tuck myself in the weeds. I'm going to bring a chair out there. Well, as soon as the sun went down, I mean, it was game over for me. First of all, I baked in the sun. I felt like a lizard on a rock for about 3 hours, just baking in it. Yeah. And as soon as the sun went down, I was covered in mosquitoes. I'm like, if deer walks out, there's no way I'm sitting still. There's just no chance. So I scramble up to the redneck, and I'm sitting there, and 10 minutes before shooting hours were over, Mama Doe walks out at 8 yards, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess it's go time. It was the perfect scenario. She was walking away from the redneck, so she couldn't, look at it every 3 seconds like she normally does. And, it all kind of came together. I was paying attention to a different deer because of all the deer that Wags has out there. And so I had to quickly adjust my sight, and happened to get it done at 31, 32 yards, and it was a short track. I called Wags. He was out celebrating his daughter's 21st birthday, and I'm like, all right, now what do you want me to do? So I was like, well, find it first.
Grab, you tell him the story.
So I sent him a message. I call him first from the redneck, and I'm like, I'm going to just tell him I haven't found her yet, but she's got to be close. So he doesn't answer because they're having, beverages and dinner and all that stuff. So then I follow up with the text message of red alert, call me ASAP. And I get out maybe.
And he's thinking that, okay, he stuck a knife in his foot. He stepped on a board with a nail in it.
There's a very low probability that it's a deer.
He tripped
at this point.
He tripped and fell and separated a shoulder. He's laying in a field road, something like that.
Yeah. And so I wait, I just waited a couple minutes, and I ended up getting out, and I wanted to kind of look to see before it got too dark, kind of what was going on. I wanted to find my arrow and check the arrow and all that stuff. And so it was, within 10 minutes I was out in the field, and I had my bow with me because I'm thinking, worst case I have to, land a follow-up shot. I'm standing in the middle of the food plot, and another doe walks out. I'm thinking, this might be a 2-for-1 special night. I knocked an arrow. I knew it was within 20 yards. I had my pin almost settled, and she bounded off. So I'm like, all right, well, I texted one of my buddies and I said, after all this action, I think I need a cigarette.
She looked at him when she popped out. She goes, "Oh, look at that hairy buck. He's got no horns and a beard. I gotta get the hell out of here."
Yeah. So then I was able to, it was a short track, maybe 45, 50 yards or so, not bad. And, by the time that I found her, Wags is like, "All right, here's what we do. This is where we clean them up. This is where we take them." Grab the ATV. So then I had nothing with me because I was just sitting in the grass. So I had no bag, no headlamp. I had my bow and my rangefinder, and that was it.
And obviously no confidence in himself either.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to. Well, I did have a bottle of water with me, which may have still been sitting out over there, but
that and bug spray. That's all you needed that day.
Yeah, and so I'm like, all right. So I find the deer. I was using my phone as a light. I find the deer. Wags calls me then. So he's like, all right, here's a rundown. Here's what we normally do. So I go back to the truck. I grab my headlamp. I, grab some of the other things that I needed, jump on the ATV, run over there. He's like, yeah, just throw it on the front or throw it on the back and, take her over by the meat pole. I'm like, all right. So I get over there. And for about 20 minutes, I'm trying to huff this thing up onto the back of the ATV by myself. I'm thinking, yeah, I think it's just kind of a lost cause. There's got to be a rope around here somewhere.
I'm listening to this, and I'm thinking to myself, okay. I'm thinking about my backpack that I take when I go out Wags. In my backpack, I have things like rope.
Yep.
I have like a flashlight. I've got, like a lighter if I need it.
Yeah.
A knife.
A knife. Yeah, a big knife if I need it.
Yeah, well, so I do have all those things, but
they were back in the truck.
They were in the truck, and so I don't think you've been out there yet, but it's not a long walk. I mean, it's 150 yards or something like that. So it's like whatever I needed, I could easily go grab it.
It's simple.
Go back and forth. And so then I go back to the barn for the second time, find a ball of rope, go back out there, drag her back to the meat pole. It was kind of a lot of back and forth, and it was just kind of a comedy of errors. And
you were
with the light. So I have a light out there.
So over there, he's got underground extension cord that runs out there. So he's like, all right, so I've got a tripod light. Tripod floodlight that, we'll just take it over there under the bucket, find the bucket. There's the cord's underneath there.
It's in a plastic bag.
So I get the tripod out there. I plug it in, and I'm pushing the buttons. It's like one of those like shop lights, so it's just got the push button on the back, and nothing's happening. So I'm like, all right, well, maybe this light is busted. I'll go back. I'll grab the other tripod. So then I go back to the barn again. Well, I go back out there. There's no power. When I went back to grab the second floodlight, the fuse box is right there. So I'm like, well, maybe it just from being out in the elements or whatever, maybe it tripped the wires or the fuse. So I'm checking all the fuses. Everything was good there. So I get back out there and I'm like, all right, this is stupid. It's like 8:30 now. I'm going to just try and clean this thing up. I've got 2 headlamps. I've got a flashlight. I've got everything more than what I need to just set it up, and I'll just take care of the deer. Well, I say something to him afterwards, and he's like, oh, that's weird. I don't know why the power wouldn't be working. Well, it was the GFCI on the outlet outside of the barn that was tripped, which I didn't
There's
think
a
to
reset
look at.
button on the box.
Right,
So that GFI box is off of the building, and then what we did is when we have people over, like Wagner Fest and stuff like that. So what I did is
another thing, Eric, you and I have not been invited to Wagner Fest.
So out of there, I had him trench, like at a campsite. So I have like along my pines, I have 3 sets, 3 pedestals that come up, and then you can plug it in. So instead of running an extension cord, I just go off of that pedestal, run out of there underneath the pines.
When I did my cabin, I had my shed, and then about maybe 100 feet on the other side was the cabin. So I took PVC pipe.
Yes.
And I put an extension cord through the PVC pipe, put the PVC pipe maybe, 6, 8 inches in the ground.
Yeah.
So then in the wintertime, I could still plug in from the shed where my power was,
sure.
and I could use it in the house. There's no problem.
maybe that's what I can do. But it wasn't that. It was that GFI, because when you go to the pedestal where it's plugged in, you're like, oh, there's nothing here. But then if you go from point A, where we clean deer and by the meat pole, then you go to B, where it's plugged in, you're like, nothing there. But B actually goes to the building, and that's where the light was on.
So do you have a sign up that says, this is the meat pole?
No, but it's very clearly a meat pole. It's like, I mean, what is it? It's like telephone poles or whatever, right?
Yeah,
that are kind of put together in a frame.
So we got two big telephone poles. It can hold, I think I have 3 or 4 pulleys on there.
I was going to say, pulleys on it too.
Pull them on it, and the crossbeam. Yeah,
love it.
Yeah,
we never use all 3 pulleys.
They're rarely used all at the same time. But so then I'm like, all right, well, it's like 65 degrees still. It's getting cooler at night, but it's not quite cool enough. So I'm going back and forth with him, and he's like, oh, this place has got a 24-hour locker. It's just right down the street, yada, yada. And I'm like, all right, well, I would like to do something because, it's not normal for me to shoot a deer this early in the year, and you got to have like some other considerations with it. Well, I get out there and they've got a sign on the door, 24-hour drop off, after hour drop off, whatever, door's locked. So then I'm going to Quick Trip, and thankfully I had like a brand new tarp that I could just, kind of cover the inside of the cavity, packed it full of, big bags. And then first thing, that next morning, I was deer number 4 at Bunzel's Meat Market for the year. So it actually ended up all working out. So I'm happy to say that I did a third. So I did a third of ground, I did a third of jalapeno cheddar sticks, and I did a third of the world famous, award-winning honey mustard cheddar brats.
Ding ding. There you go.
So as soon as I get those, we'll have a party. We'll share the love. And
you can bring them to Wagner Fest.
Wagner Fest.
Yeah. So
you can bring a camper. There's only 3 slots.
There's only 3 slots.
Get there early.
You got to get there early.
Yeah. So so it's great. 3 sits in and 1 deer already taken, and you've had a couple sits out there. I mean, you've kind of just sweat and risk your Lyme disease and everything else sitting on those tree stands.
I wish we had a studio cam right now. The look that Wags just gave me, shaking his head like, brother, you have no idea.
It was so bad. Yeah. Like I thought it was okay, and then I get up there and I'm like, oh, I'm hot. I'm like, okay, and then the sun just beats on me from 5 o'clock till sunset at 6:45. Hour and 45, just getting pelted.
Right in the face.
That's when I sent him that text. It's
90,000 degrees.
90,000 degrees out here. If you can't lose weight in this stand, I got no hope.
It's Mother Nature's weight loss plan.
You can't get any less clothing on, because then you're just getting attacked
by mosquitoes.
Jesus. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So I don't know. Great start. Sherry is very happy that I have a deer already down because, as I said, the next night, wow, it's nice to be home for dinner. And she's like, it's nice to be home for dinner.
It's good you harvested early, because that means you have more time on Saturdays to watch Badger football.
Right.
Yeah.
And do like whatever now during the week, because I think I kind of made like a last minute decision. I'm like, Wags, I got a game plan. I'm coming out there if that's cool. This is what I'm thinking. I feel like I can get it done. And thankfully it worked out, because I was kind of getting to the point where I'm like, it's going to happen, but I just need to keep sitting. It was 3 sits, or if that was 13 sits, probably would have just kept sitting until I got a deer down. So
meanwhile, Wags is thinking to himself, buddy, if you want to sit out there and roast yourself to death and you want to battle mosquitoes, go for it.
I think you should. I think, don't settle for 1.
No.
I think you should.
Come back out.
I think you should come out at least one more time and take one as.
Wasn't that fun? Let's do it again.
So I'm talking to Wags, and I'm like, I don't know, man. It's really hot out there in that redneck blind. I don't know if you got power out there or not, but I bought a USB fan to run from a portable charger. I left it in there because it's not getting cool anytime soon.
So the fan on, then you're fine.
It changed sitting in there. At least you get a little airflow going, and it's not just that static, just gross.
Yeah.
I mean, you just bake in there. You're basically in an oven.
You are.
You know, so
It's
I just remember the first day, opening day, I think was the worst because it was very warm that day too. And I was out there a little earlier. Well, I'm like rotating windows opening up just so that I could get some airflow going through there. And I'm like, I don't even care if a deer comes out at this point. I feel like I'm baking in here.
And if a bird flies by, that little...
Yeah.
Like, oh, that feels so good.
Just
it's
even
gone.
that
That's the only
would have been
breeze you
perfect.
got.
Flap your wings faster.
Yes.
That's what I need you to do.
So,
So congratulations.
yeah.
You got that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I guess I got to go back out and get another one. And
Well, so before, I know it's hot today, but before when we had that cold front come in on Wednesday,
yeah.
so Wednesday night, like I was talking about earlier, all of a sudden it was a buck parade again.
Yeah.
I wasn't out. Me and Tasker moved stands. We boogered the whole woods up. We moved it around. I'll let him tell you more about it. We moved it around, cut up shooting lanes. I just had to try to adjust. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to sit out tonight. I know it's a great night, but forget it. You know what? Just let it go. Let it settle down. Boom, 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 boom. The camera's going off. I got those 2 8s. I had a 10 on the backs. I mean, it was just unreal. So,
and that was after we were out there for, it's funny. So he's like, hey, you know, if you got some time this week, can you come out and we'll move some stands? I need to like adjust some stuff and maybe like rotate one stand and then move another one. So he's like, it should take us 30 minutes, but realistically, we know that it's going to probably be 90.
No.
But the beer will be cold, I promise.
Yeah. So we get out there, and it was like 2 hours. You know, it was a couple hours, and he's like, "All right, well, we're gonna go get some wings and whatever. So we're gonna get out of here." And I was getting home, and it was getting late, and I don't know, it was probably 5:30, something like that,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So we get back and. He must have just got to dinner, and he's sending me trail camera pictures, and they're just everywhere in the field.
The 2 8s are fighting each other. I'm like, what in the world?
So even after we did that, and it's not like it was cool. So we were sweaty, and we were, you know, working out there, and got our hands all over the place, and we're tracking our boots through there, and they just didn't care.
And the good thing is where we moved the stands, because where this one nicer buck came through. So I said, Task, okay, so here we are in the woods. There's a camera over here. I'm pointing to my right side, and there's a camera over to the left side. He did not show up on that one, but he showed up on the middle one. So somehow, some way, he's avoiding these cameras. So I'm assuming he's coming straight up the gut, you know, just right up the middle. So we move it. That's the same. We were like right there for 2 hours.
Yeah.
We're grabbing branches, cutting stuff, sweating, running around, making noise, and within an hour, right through that same path. So we made the right decision, but the decision to sit was the poor one, because I should have sat rather than leave.
Yeah, Mama wanted wings, so.
And Sherry was gone, or Sherry was still far away. So he's like, hey, I got some time. I go, oh, I heard you on the phone. So I said, we're just going to go grab some wings right now at the Rocks.
You know what? And listening to you guys, and two things popped into my head. First of all, what popped into my head, unfortunately, when you're telling me about the bucks you've seen and everything else, that somehow in late November, I'm going to get a photo from you smiling, and you're going to be on your neighbor's property again, holding up the head of the buck that you basically groomed for them.
With a bush light in my hand.
Yeah. The other thing I thought about, too, and this is the cynical side of me, because in sports, especially when it comes to the Brewers, we've had our hearts broken so much. And I'm thinking to myself, what a great year it's been. And, you know, KB has always been on the bandwagon of, so what happens if they lose in the playoffs? Who cares? It's been a great summer. I'm like, BS, man. I want to shed 82. And I think to myself, it's kind of like you, Wags. You want to shed 82.
We almost shed 82 pounds out there, so if he keeps sitting, he might get close.
What I want that big, beautiful, smiling Paul Wagner with a bush light in his hand, and he's got Muy Grande, and he's in his backyard.
With me behind the deer rather than...
Yes.
Hey.
And it's yours.
From the meat pole, is Wags, Tasker grinning ear to ear.
Yes. Rather than me fake smiling, drinking with somebody else that, oh, by the way, do you want pictures of your deer in velvet?
Would you like me to hold the camera?
Jackass.
Yeah.
Paul, Wags, do you mind taking a picture for us? Past shows, you can download it. The shows on our podcast page. Just look for the podcast tab on the station website, and you will see Tailgate Talk, and you can download it right there. So last week on the show, I think it was in segment 2, we were talking about Wags' little gun raffle that you had going on to benefit some fine folks in the Lake Country area. And ding, ding, you had some success. Our people responded to the call, Paul Wagner.
They did, and I wanted to take a shout-out. Thank you very, very much to all the people that reached out back to us, that Venmo'd. But there is a gentleman in Monona, Tim, and he had to send a paper check to me because he did not have Venmo, and I did receive it. I apologize for not getting back to you. But again, everything turned out good, except the fact that only one person that I riled up won a gun.
Well, what?
Somebody that I gathered.
You recruited?
I recruited.
Yes.
Won the gun. And it was not me. It was not one of our listeners. It was not one of the winner's clients as that he works with. It ended up being...
Whoa. Are you... Because there was a text chain between the three of us.
It wasn't you.
No, it was Saturday morning. And here's the thing. I didn't see it until after the deadline. So I'm like, damn. But I saw that.
So everybody lost except one person in our group.
Well, Tim, I'll just say thank you for not buying a ticket because Eric Tasker won a shotgun. Yeah, so...
hey, you know what? I've seen you use a shotgun. Donate it back.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking to myself, what am I even going to do with this thing?
Exactly. Donate it back.
Ah, jeez.
It's a nice one. You tell me.
So Wags calls me on Sunday afternoon then, and he's like, you lucky SOB. I'm like, what? And he's like, you won the best gun in the raffle. And I'm like, there's absolutely no way. So I have a thing with gun raffles that I never do them because I never win.
You do now.
And I'm like, all right, it's for a good cause. It's right in our backyard. And the real reason was I had like $215 in my Venmo account. So it's like free money at that point. It's like you don't even think about it.
You're like Zabe. He returns stuff. He goes, oh, look, I've got money in my Venmo or my Apple account.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, this will be easy. I'll just Venmo you, Wags. So, hey, it all worked out. And
did. Yeah.
He got the Frankie. And the Frankie, in my opinion, was the best gun.
It was the best
gun. So he brings it over Wednesday night when we're moving stands. He goes, you got to just look at this. You got to look at it. Tim, I swear this gun is lighter than my phone.
Really?
It is so easy. It's a nice swing. It's camo, synthetic. It's the Frankie A3000. I can't remember what it was.
The Affinity 3.
The Affinity 3.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible. It's an awesome gun, and he has no excuse now.
What's the recoil on it?
None.
Really?
Wait till he shoots it. Wow. You can get an extended pad for that. But my buddy, one of the guys that hunts at my place too,
right.
He says he's got all these guns. That's his favorite gun. He says it's easy. He lets his son shoot it because it kicks. It's so. But he was shooting 2 3/4.
Okay.
So he's not shooting the 3s, but he's shooting 2 3/4. And he said it had less kick than his 20 gauge or the 4s, the little guns that he had for his son.
See, what I remember when you're talking about that, my dad was an avid Canadian goose hunter. And he had, I want to say it was an Ithaca 10 gauge. And this thing, it was so big that you had to take the barrel off to get it into the gun cabinet. And I swear to you, it seemed like 8 to 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And when you shot it, as a matter of fact, my brother braved up and said, you know what, with my grandpa, they're like, I'll shoot my dad's gun. My dad was like, there's no way you're going to shoot this thing until you're older, right? Oh, grandpa's like, Dad's away. Let's have some fun. I'm watching the kids. So my brother's about 10, maybe 11.
No. He never pitched again.
And he shot that thing, and literally it threw him backwards. And so it's amazing to me when you talk about technology, how much it has changed since then. And again, that's 25, 30 years ago, but still, I mean.
Yeah. And I remember that when those longer barrel, obviously the waterfowl hunters like the longer barrels.
Yeah, that's what this was.
And I like this, but you know what? With the swing rate and stuff like that, this gun is absolutely incredible.
That's crazy.
It's absolutely
crazy.
incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be really good for me.
It is.
So wait a minute.
So I'm excited
when you
about
won, okay, when you won this, did you do like most people do? Like, for example, if you're at one of your baseball raffles with autographed memorabilia, and I've done a lot of NFL alumni stuff. So people it used to be that they would buy it because, God, I love Russell Wilson. I love, I love John Kuhn. I loved whatever Packer it might be, or Brewer player, or Paul Wagner, whatever the case might be. And so then they would take it because they cherish it. They'd have something that's autographed by one of their idols, right? Nowadays, when people do these things, you see them at a table. Okay, so I'm on my phone, I'm looking at eBay, and I'm saying, okay, so a Russell Wilson autographed Wisconsin helmet is selling for $200. Oh, I'll get that sucker for $100. I'll flip it.
Right.
So did you think about flipping it? Have you looked the value of the gun up?
No, I haven't, because it's probably the most beautiful gun I've ever seen.
You know, a lot of stations on this time of day, they do what's called buy, sell, and trade. We can open up Tradio Radio right now.
Tradio Radio.
But
Let's go to Economo Walk. Eric's standing by. Eric, what do you got for sale today?
Well, we got an Infinity 3 and bottomland camo.
But tell them the story. Tell them a story about because now you're going on a duck hunting. You're going to go out waterfowl hunting, and you didn't want to use your dad's wood. I mean, that's a pretty good part.
So 2 weeks ago, I think the early teal season, I went out with a couple of my buddies. And, we're wading through like waist deep water, and we're just standing out there. And originally, I was just going to take my dad's shotgun. My dad's got this Remington that he's had forever, and it's, a very beautiful gun, but it's a wood stock, and it's not protected in any way, shape, or form. And I'm like, I'm just so glad that my buddy let me use his pump action that's coated, and it's an actual waterfowl gun and all that. I'm just thinking to myself, like, if I were to have gone out there with that, I would have been stressed that I didn't clean it good enough, and, all those things of just getting it wet and not having to worry about that now is really nice. And then I told Wags the story on Wednesday when I was over there. I'm like, it's nice that it's really light. Because when we went out to Milford Hills, I just remember, like, my bicep was sore for like 3 days afterwards carrying my dad's shotgun because it weighed like 3 times as much. And then, Dan, our buddy Dan, had me hold his shotgun for a second, and I'm like, oh my God, why is this thing so light? So it's nice to
now you know
nice
how
to have,
Dan can shoot from the hip so quickly when the birds come up.
Well, and I'm lugging an anchor or an anvil up from my waist, so
it's a built-in excuse.
That's why we lost. That's why
we didn't get birds.
That's right. So congratulations.
Yeah. So
you're a lucky guy.
So the luck continues.
Oh man, you're on a roll.
And I don't know. I'm optimistic for
that dough
for the rest of this season.
You know what? And it comes in threes.
It comes in threes, so I guess I'll have to get.
So whatever you do, you want to get lucky, stay with this guy. Because he's got you're a doe with a bow, and you got a gun. Yeah. What's next?
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, okay.
He's like, can you use some of that luck and help me take a couple more dollars?
Yeah, that's right.
So,
all right, let's do this. We do this in segment number 2 in the show. No views, just news. From the Tailgate Talk News Desk, here's anchor Eric Tasker.
Well, the first story comes out of the East Coast, and it brings me back to my days in college where I just remember, having a house and, going hunting with my buddies and bringing deer back. And, we're off campus housing at the time. So we've got a garage and we've got all those things that we can kind of, field dress not field dress the deer, but, kind of clean it up and, store the deer and whatever. Well, 2 Cornell students killed a bear and skinned it in their dorm room.
So?
Turns out that's semi-frowned upon.
You think?
And authorities were called. But because they had valid license and they did everything, as they were supposed to, except, maybe not bringing it back into their dorm room, no charges, no nothing were, no file, or, were filed against these students.
So question. How big was the bear?
120-pound black bear, which sounds very small, kind of, but
still. Okay, so when did they do this? Like, what time of day? So did they, Wags, like, stuff it into a duffel bag? Or did they do it in a garbage bag?
I don't know.
Did you just see?
Because I was thinking that
hey,
there
Jerry,
would be...
how's class today?
Found Smokey the Bear.
Oh, yeah. What's that? Oh, nothing. It's just going to be a bearskin rug for our dorm room. Cool.
Yeah.
Huh?
So it doesn't say what time, but they, okay. So it says just sometime Saturday. It doesn't say, morning or night or whatever, but the complaint was actually filed Sunday night and then no charges had been filed. So my thought was, it doesn't really say, or maybe just not in this article, but, did somebody see the kids bring the bear in? Did they see like a big black plastic trash bag? And they were like, okay, what's going on? Was there like, maybe drops of blood on the stairwell?
They saw blood.
What is going on?
Right?
Blood. The GA, the grad assistant, or the RA, the resident. Hey, I got this real good job. I get free housing, but I just got to monitor my floor. Oh, my gosh. What just happened on my floor?
Somebody walked into the joint bathroom,
Yeah.
They're in camo in there. They're cleaning knives, bloody knives in the sink. I mean, come on, fellas. What are you thinking?
Yeah. So, and then, final note on that. The state agency confirmed school findings that the incident does not present violations of the Environmental Conservation Law or DEC regulations, which must be something else.
Does it say what school this was?
Cornell. Yeah, so an Ivy League school, which just kind of makes it better.
It's my biology class.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
Nothing to see here, boys.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah,
Move along. Move along. We'll be done soon. Just turn on the music. I saw. So that next story.
Some Wags, but I'm not gonna. But anyway, dorm rooms and knives. But anyway.
Yeah. Let's not go down that path.
Okay.
So
it's too early.
I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but. Story out of Channel 3000 News, which I don't know if that's Madison.
Channel 3000 is Madison. Right?
Yeah. So they had posted a notice this week that, we're starting to get into migration season, bird season, waterfowl seasons are opening up. Encouraging local businesses, residents, and municipal officials are being asked to turn off non-essential outdoor lights on Wednesday night from 11 to 6 a.m. And it's supposed to help protect migrating birds. So I'm not really sure how that would make that big of an impact, but the glow from the lights can disorient these birds as they fly at night, making them more likely to land in hazardous areas. Birds searching for food during the day may also collide with windows when they see reflections of the trees and other habitats.
Sounds like a Dane County thing to me.
It does. So it got me thinking, how many birds are actually migrating over the state of Wisconsin at any given point in time?
It's a great question.
Okay. Are we really, do we have that many that are migrating over the state that we're doing light?
Over
light
Madison?
dimming?
Or are we talking the Mississippi River?
Right.
Now, to be fair, correct me if I'm wrong, boys, but I believe that Dane County is the largest county or one of the largest counties in the state of Wisconsin.
Okay.
So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Tongue firmly planted in cheek here, Wags.
Okay.
That it's a big county. So you're going to have a few more migrations going on.
And I don't know the Dane County marsh system.
And you have the lakes that are there.
A lot of waterways there.
Yes. So there is a possibility, yes.
Yeah. We're actually really set up very well because we've got the Mississippi and we've got Michigan, but we've got a lot of bodies of water throughout, significant bodies of water that are kind of spaced throughout the state. So if you guys had to take a guess, how many birds do you think are migrating? It can be peak or any given night, whatever you might think it would be.
So they're migrating south or going back and forth?
Migrating south, we'll just say.
Oh, I don't know.
No clue. No clue.
I'll guess 500,000.
Okay.
Just to toss a number into
Sure.
the conversation.
Okay, so at peak migration, now this is like the absolute highest volume that we'll see.
Okay.
75 million birds migrate on any given day over the state of Wisconsin.
A day?
A day?
A day.
I was off a little bit.
That doesn't
No
even
way.
seem right.
The
but
decimal's got to be wrong.
no.
You can make that mistake on my check.
Who generated that number? Where'd it come from?
Like a birding website.
Man.
Like that actually studies bird patterns and some different things.
Is it a
like that.
total 75 million for the whole migratory
Yes.
season or a day?
Yes. Now, this is saying...
No, it's got to be migratory season.
So it's region. So like that also like kind of encapsulates like over the lakes, over the
A day.
Mississippi. That does not. That
No,
seems
no.
like there's no way that can be right.
Migratory season.
I
maybe.
think I'm with you, Wags. It's seasonal. It's
Yeah,
not.
it's
That's a
gotta be.
season. That's
Okay,
not.
and then it says on any given night.
But if your
outside
agenda
of
is to
peak-
save the birds at 75 million a day, it makes sense, right?
Yeah. But that's, 30 days, that's 1 billion birds or something.
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no
No
way.
way. No way.
Man, if you said there's 1 billion mosquitoes at my house, I'd say yeah.
Yeah, right in that acreage. And
Maybe,
then it says...
maybe they're lumping them all together. Anything that has wings is classified as a bird, so mosquitoes count.
So then it went on to say that in a recent report, this is from like a Northwoods newspaper up in Wisconsin, 12 million birds are estimated to pass on average over the state. That still seems
like a
so
lot.
unbelievable.
2.25 billion a month, if that number's accurate.
Yeah.
No way.
There's no way.
There'd be more goose crap on my truck than you could.
Well, I think
shake a
there's 1
stick
million
at.
at Fleet Farm in
Yeah,
If
Oconomowoc.
there's 75 million, it would be birds and not clouds that are blocking out the sun, right?
Yeah. Wow, that's huge numbers.
Well, how many miles wide is the state of Wisconsin?
I don't know.
100?
250, 220?
220?
Maybe.
I can't even comprehend those numbers. It doesn't seem right.
Well,
though.
the numbers work if they fit an agenda.
Right.
And I'm not saying the agenda is wrong. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that it fits your narrative.
Yeah, I don't really even understand how that's even possible, though. So, okay, so that I just saw that and I had stumbled on it and I thought, something about this just does not seem accurate. But, yeah, Birdcast. Okay, so last night, 18 million birds estimated crossed from 6:50 p.m. to 6:50 a.m. in the state of Wisconsin. So I don't even understand how that's possible.
I don't know either.
So, okay, so the peak so far for this year was September. Okay, well, I guess.
All right, I just looked it up on an AI. Here's the answer. It says millions of birds migrate through Wisconsin each year, with numbers reaching over 15 million during peak times. And forecasts indicate potentially over 20 million in a single night, especially during the fall migration season. The exact number of birds varies nightly and seasonally, but Wisconsin's location along major flyways makes it a critical corridor for birds' migration. Peak migration periods, migration numbers are highest during the spring and fall. Nocturnal migration, meaning at night.
Yeah.
The majority of songbirds migrate at night, with peak flight times occurring a few hours after sunset. And Wisconsin's strategic location next to the Mississippi River Flyway and the Great Lakes makes it a significant stopover point for hundreds of bird species.
Yeah, because if you think about it, we're not just talking about geese and we're not talking about, ducks of
And
whatever variety.
I was until you said songbirds.
Yeah, so it's like the warblers.
And right here it says, Eric, how you can help.
Oh, how can you help?
Turn off lights at
Turn
night.
off your lights at night. All right, this is a Madison source again.
Well, this is according to the Wisconsin DNR.
Okay.
And Channel 3000, yes. So,
It just seems...
I learned something new today. Wow. That's
Isn't
amazing.
that... It's a totally unbelievable and astonishing number.
Yes.
And I know we kind of think about it because we're talking about bird hunting
And we
doing
made fun of it a little
and-
bit. But, man, if that's true, wow, I learned something new today.
Yeah.
So that's all
Knowledge is power.
species.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of birds, because we're wrapping up this segment.
yeah.
Wags, you brought something to the news desk today.
I did. The sandhill crane
Filling in, it's like the weekend updates. Kind of.
coming at us again.
Let's go to the...
So the one numbers that really like popped out to me is they're guesstimating in 2005 there were about 30,000 sandhill cranes in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
20 years later, there's over 100 and let's just say 115 or 120.
The foundation is doing its work.
But though you can't hunt here, there are 17 other states surrounding us that allow the hunt. So it's almost like really quick. Wisconsin going in for the fourth vote or something due to, I think they've done 3 proposals for legislation or 4 legislation proposals in 12 years, it said, going in again. But 17 states. So basically we seem to be the safe haven. So if you're a sandhill crane and you know one, you would tell your sandhill crane buddies, hey, don't go there. Don't come to Wisconsin. Because even though those guys in this room right now don't know how to shoot, some guys do know how to shoot.
He's got a lighter
and you'll
gun
be
now.
good because they can't hunt you.
Yeah. You remember Marge from last year? Yeah, she left Wisconsin. She didn't come back.
Yep.
I thought she's going to
So-
Florida. No, she went to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
No state income taxes. No. We can
Sandhill
plow.
crane.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it says that the estimated population was growing about 4.5% annually when it started, and then I think I had read an article a couple months ago when we looked at this that it was almost 10% that it was growing.
I think the only
So
way
it's exponentially growing.
I think the only way this changes is if there is some type of, how should I say this, nuisance permit.
Yeah.
Or something like that where, you as a farmer or a large landowner can show that there is damage being done to my crops. Mm-hmm. And there's tens of, millions of dollars in damage that are being done by sandhill cranes because it used to be not a problem. Now it is a problem.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you look at the states that allow hunting of sandhill cranes, if that's kind of where the genesis was for them to allow people to shoot it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's you know what? And I've said this before. I think you agreed with me last time I said this, Wags. I don't think in my lifetime I'm going to see us being allowed to shoot sandhill cranes. I just think that
Money.
yeah, money.
Yeah.
Yeah. That group, that advocacy group,
Right.
is still strong.
Yeah.
So the Badgers have an 11 a.m. kickoff against Michigan. So we actually move up an hour. We start earlier at 6 a.m. and Wags loves those early 6 a.m. wake up calls. Yeah, he's looking like, what? You didn't tell me about that.
Mute.
Yeah. This show wouldn't be possible. They've been with us since the beginning. Our friends at Bunzel's, taking care of Eric's deer, but they have far more than just that, don't they?
Yeah, so they are kind of a one-stop shop for a lot of things, and I learned something about our friends at Bunzel's this week. I had always thought that their wild game processing plant was across from the middle school and high school. That's right on 84th and Burleigh. They actually have 3 different locations. So if you are fortunate to harvest a deer and you do intend on taking it to Bunzel's, I just want to make a quick note about that. Their wild game processing plant location is actually 78th and Burleigh, and it's on the north side of the street. They have a super easy, convenient drop-off. It was super easy to get in there and just kind of, give them your information, tell them what you want, and kind of go from there. The place across from the high school, middle school is actually their sausage making plant.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and I know that they make really good brats and sausages with everything else, so it can only get better if it's venison. But I'll make sure to grab some other stuff on there because, they've got, bakery stuff. They've got their deli. So if you need pasta salads and all that stuff for your tailgate, they can take care of all that. And, I think next week we'll have a new monthly special. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on that for whenever that comes out. And, I'm really looking forward to finally having a circumstance that Bunzel's is the place that worked out for me to be able to get my deer there.
All right, so Wags, I got 2 baseball questions for you, okay? As we wrap up this show. How about freaking Cal Raleigh?
How many home runs does he have?
Well, he's got 60 now. I mean, by the time we do this, it may be more. But he had his 60th this week. And that dude ain't juicing.
No.
I mean,
he can help us hang stands. That's what he looks like.
And I think he had 30-plus last year, so this is legit.
Yeah.
But a catcher that plays every day.
Switch hitter.
The switch hitter on top of it that has 60-plus bombs. It's crazy. Who was the best catcher you played with?
For me?
Yeah.
That I liked?
Were you with Kendall?
Yeah.
That's what I thought, Jason.
So Kendall was my favorite, but I played with greats. I mean, I played with Piazza and Sandy Alomar Jr.
That's what I thought, yeah.
The Brewers, when I was with the Brewers, it was Mike Matheny. Mm-hmm. It was Mike Matheny, and Dave Nielsen was moved to a position.
Right. Yeah.
So I think we had Jesse Levis.
Jesse Levis, there's a name from the past.
Yeah. So but
that's crazy.
I've had good catchers,
but to have a dude behind the dish. And the toll that takes on your body.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to hit 60 bombs, it's insane.
Absolutely. Because you look at it, when you put together a team, your catcher is he's the one who's the quarterback. He's got the best view of the field. He's going to position players. He's going to work with the pitching staff. Some people always said that if I get one hit a year out of my catcher, Yadier Molina is a great example. There was nothing expected out of him offensively. The field general on the field is what you got. So 60 home runs out of that catcher position. Same with the Brewers with Contreras. You got Contreras who's learned how to handle a pitching staff. When he came out of Atlanta, when we got him, remember, the knock on him was pitchers didn't like throwing to him. He's learned that, and learning that aspect of the game to be able to be comforted by your pitchers and to produce offensively, it's crazy. Cal Raleigh's just nuts.
Final question about baseball. How big is the loss of Woody?
Big.
I think it's huge.
Huge.
Yeah. And you feel so bad for him, too.
Yeah. What a great guy. What a hard battle. What a 2 years of trying to get back to where he was. And we knew his velocity wasn't there, but he was learning how to pitch. And it was something we talked about during the week with the guys.
It's something you can identify with.
Yeah, absolutely. And I couldn't do it. Yeah, I couldn't learn. I was a hard thrower. I threw in the mid, 95, 96. But when you have that surgery and now you have to try to learn how to pitch at 90, it seems like a very simple because you see guys pitching at 90, 92 all the time. But when you don't have that ability, I didn't. Woody was figuring it out. He incorporated the cutter. His usage rates were great. You look at his Savant picture or Savant page, everything was adjusting to who he was. It's just a sad, sad situation because the Brewers do need him.
It's funny because the last couple of years as I've gotten older, I've really had to work on my slowing down my golf swing. I've never done it that way. I've always been just John Daly school, grip it, swing hard, man.
Grip it.
And the thing is that trying to decelerate, not accelerate, I mean, at times you get so frustrated with yourself. And it's not a physical thing. It's a mental thing, isn't it?
It's hard.
It's really hard.
So what he accomplished in those 8 to 10 starts after he came back was amazing and would have went really nice because I really like that rotation of Freddie going one, Woody, and then Priester. Now, talking to Drew and those guys, some guys are concerned about Priester. Is he old? Can he handle He's in the big leagues. He's in the big leagues. Yeah. You know what? This isn't handling, coddling. You're in the big leagues. This is big boy baseball. This isn't travel ball. If you can't pitch in a big game, we don't need you.
You know who they need? Again, when they open up, I mean, it could be San Diego. It could be the Mets. It could be the Cubs. We'll have to wait and see. They open up at home, so they'll have the first two in Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. That third game, who I want to see, and he's got to be healthy, is Quintana.
Yeah.
I think that's the guy, because that was Woody's spot, right? Mm-hmm. That was Woody's spot.
And they were going to do that. I mean, we were talking before, how do you line it up? So what they would do is obviously Murph and Hook in the front office, they'd all put together and they'd see, hey, is Priester our 2 or our 3? Is Woody our 2 or our 3? What does Priester do? Let's just say we play the Cubs. Let me see what Priester did at Wrigley, and let me see what Priester does at home. Now let's take Woody. How did Woody pitch it? So they would have played those matchups and stuff like that. But now in a situation without Woody,